Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening and welcome to Monday night here on DJNTV. I'm John Young from the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV, and I have a special guest tonight, Gene Mathurin. Gene, thanks for being with me tonight.
Absolutely, my pleasure, John. My pleasure.
Some of you have been popping out and around on social media and such, and you've run into Gene at the wedding coach. We're going to talk about that a little bit a little later tonight. But what I want to start out with is some teaching, Gene. Just before we went live, you talked about that's really become kind of a passion of yours, is to teach and to give back in the DJ industry.
Yes, absolutely. John, when I first became a wedding entertainer, I had no education. I kind of came from the club scene, started doing weddings, and so I dived heavily into watching YouTube videos and watching what other wedding DJs were doing. And then I stumbled across a gentleman called Peter Murray.
Right.
He has I bought first wedding book I ever bought was the best wedding reception ever.
Yes. Yeah.
And, that is my DJ. That's my wedding entertainer Bible.
For
okay?
sure.
I go through it often. I actually had to get 3 copies, but that really kind of exposed me to what was possible as a wedding entertainer. And, Peter Murray, though I haven't personally met him, is definitely one of my mentors when it comes to the DJ industry. And so, when it comes to education, that's really the key. I've got 5 guys that I manage, and I try to pour into them as much as I can. So,
nice.
From managing a multi-op, that's really where the education came from. So. Yeah.
Nice. So tonight, Gene is going to kind of dive into some tips and ideas and such that's going to help you kind of grow your business as we look ahead into 2020. So, Gene, let's jump right into a couple of the thoughts and discuss and see where we go.
Yeah. So, you just want me to kind of like start from tip number 1 because I've got several.
Yep.
So, the first thing is I think continuing education is the key. I mean, if you want to be successful, I think, in any industry that you're in, especially when it comes to the wedding industry. First of all, let me not even say the wedding industry, just as a mobile entertainer, right? You really have to educate yourself. So, podcasts like DJNTV, which I subscribe to and I watch all the time, to reading, listening to podcasts, watching videos, finding a mentor. So my first tip would be to really dive into your continuing education. You have to invest in yourself. You have to. One of my mentors, Jim Ron, one of the quotes that he uses is that you have to work harder on yourself than you do at your job, right? You have to work harder on yourself, right? So that's really pouring into yourself, investing in yourself, and that's what the continuing education. So, so that's my first tip, John.
And I think a great example of that is thinking back to, we're not 20 years old anymore. We know Jerry Rice when he was in his prime.
Yes.
Jerry Rice, the incredible receiver. And when you say you have to work on yourself and you have to work hard on yourself, Jerry Rice is a prime example of that. That, or any athlete that is at that level, or any person who's at that level, that they work incredibly hard at their craft and they drive themselves at a level to attain a level of greatness in his case. But that kind of even rolls over to us, is that in order for us to be good at what we do or great at what we do, we have to put in so much hours and so much time into honing our craft. I use that with my children, and of course they are like, Jerry, who? Alrighty then.
Younger generation.
Yeah, exactly. But great tip.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got for number 2?
So John, before we hop into number 2, let me just say that, a lot of times when I'm performing at a wedding, right, I have 3 cameras on me, right? When I'm on me, I have 3 cameras set up, right? I've got a GoPro, I've got a Canon camera. So not only am I shooting myself performing, right? I'm also I have a camera on the crowd, right? So I can see what their reaction is, right? And I'm always going back, like you just mentioned, football, right? And so what do football players do, right? After the game,
watch the
they're
tape.
watching film. They're watching film. So not only is it great for content, right? But it's good to go back and look at the video footage. Now listen, when you're practicing and rehearsing, and I hope you guys are doing that, right? I would highly recommend that you practice and rehearse. But what you think is good, you're not going to know if it's good, right? What's your goal when you're making an announcement? What's your goal when you're saying something on the microphone? What reaction are you trying to get, right? So if you go back and look at the video footage, right, you'll be able to see, are you getting the reaction that you want, right? So with the continuing education, I think it's important that you guys start recording yourselves.
I think that's
so tip number 2 is
great tip. Yeah, good.
You have to automate your systems. Oh my gosh, this is.
Oh no.
Well, when a couple contacts you.
Hang on, Gene. We lost you. We heard you. You got to automate your system, and then we lost you. So take us back and start over at tip 2, please.
Okay, tip 2 is automation, right? Automation is extremely important, right? And so, we work on the weekends, right? But when are most couples planning their wedding? On the weekends.
Yeah,
right?
very much so, yeah.
So if you don't have an automation system, right? So when a couple contacts you, what auto response are they getting? Now, some people will say, oh, I hate auto responses. They're not personable, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not responding to that couple within 5 to 10 minutes, I think it's shorter than that, they say, right?
Yep.
I mean, if you're not responding to them, what do you think they're going to think if they book you for their wedding? Is this DJ going to respond to my emails, right? And so, not to dive too much into the automation, because I know we could do a whole show just on automation, right? But every weekend that I'm working on my Gmail, I have an auto response. I'm going to be working this weekend. You're important to me. You follow me on Instagram, right? So I'm already kind of leading them to what I'm doing and where I am. And I'll say, I will reach out to you Monday or Sunday when I get back in the office. So automation is important. There's a lot of other systems that I use for automation. Calendly is one of them, which is extremely, extremely helpful for me, where a couple can literally go and click on my link on Instagram and book an appointment right there. The app is called Calendly.
Yeah,
I'm not getting paid to say that. I don't know if you are familiar with it.
I am actually. I've been using that this fall for similar things, and yeah, it's a great little app. You can set up calendars with. I can have a calendar for brides. I can have a calendar for corporate. I have a calendar for people that I don't whatever, and manage it all. Great suggestion with that app. That's a great one.
So tip number 3.
Yeah, let's go on there and we'll bridge off the wedding keep going.
So attending networking events.
Ooh.
I cannot tell you how important attending networking events are, right? And people don't network properly, right? When you go to a networking event, a lot of people think you're going to the network event to try to gain business, right? That is not the goal. The goal is to build relationships when you go to networking events, okay? And so that would be tip number 3. Go to networking events, and you need to figure out who is it that you need to network with, right? When I go to networking events, I'm part of my BNI group here. I'm part of my Chamber of Commerce in my local market, right? And so I know as a wedding entertainer that I need to be, first of all, let me say this. A lot of the networking events are happening at venues. Hello.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And so the first person you should try to network with is the venue manager, the catering manager, or the venue owner, right? There are going to be photographers there. There are going to be videographers there. There are going to be other planners there, right? So these are the people that I call your A-list, right? These are the people that are in the market that you're in, right? But there are also people, right? There could be, so to give you an example, I was at a networking event. I met a lady that owns an insurance company.
Okay.
And, we were kind of talking, having a conversation, right? We exchanged business cards, and she contacted me because she's having a 60th birthday party, right?
Sure.
That was just for me attending a networking event and sharing with her what it is that I do. So attending networking events is important. Once again, I'm pretty sure you could do a whole show on networking, right? But it's super important to, and when you go into networking events, how are you representing yourself, right? Because think about this. If somebody's not looking for a DJ and you represent yourself as a DJ, how are you bringing value? How are you bringing value to your networking event? So let me tell you what I do, John. Okay?
Yeah, please.
So I have a business podcast, okay? It's called the Hudson Valley Business Report. Right? The purpose of this podcast is for me to interview other businesses.
Sure.
And it's a great way to get yourself in the door, right? So, anytime you're networking, you always have to ask, how are you adding value to your networking group? How are you adding value? And so just going to a networking group and passing out business cards, those days are done.
Yep.
Those days are done, right? And if you think about it, I'm not going to recommend or represent you to somebody else if I don't know you. If I don't know you, I'm not going to recommend you to my couples. It's not going to happen. So it's important to build those relationships. You need to figure out for yourself, how are you going to add value to the group? It could be a podcast, it could be a newsletter, whatever it is. Figure out how you can add more value to the group than you're getting, and people will recommend you. So I think that was tip number 3, right, John?
Yeah, that was 3. And that podcast thing, that's actually really a great idea, because in many cases we're comfortable speaking on a microphone, and most of us don't really mind being in front of a camera, and a lot of other people don't. So we have the tech skills to do it. We've got the outgoing enough personality to do some of this aspect. Now you can offer that to people who would never do a podcast on their own, but yet they would, answer questions or what have you and be interviewed. And then they can share that on social media. Oh, that's a win. For those of you watching, that idea alone, if you implement that in your local area, that was worth your time watching the show. So we could sit here and talk football the rest of the night. You guys have gotten your money's worth right there. So great.
And John, let me say this. I've gotten a lot of business because of this, because of my podcast. Once again, so just give you a little background, John. I'm currently in the New York market, right? I'm coming from the DC market. Okay. So coming into this market, I'm like, how am I going to establish myself as a DJ? You can imagine the New York market is, I don't want to say saturated with DJs. There's just a lot of DJs out here, right? Yep. Nowadays, all you need is an iPad and an iPhone, and you call yourself a DJ. But how are you going to separate yourself from everybody else, right? And so when I'm meeting a business owner, and I'm saying to myself, listen, I'm Gene. I call myself the referral specialist. Okay, nice. Gene, the referral specialist, and my job is to refer business to you, right? I would love to get you on the podcast or on my podcast. And it's just been great. It's been amazing. I've been here for, I want to say maybe 9 months. And the results that I've gotten from the podcast and people that just know me, they know what I do is amazing. I've gotten a lot of business because of it. So add value to your networking. So all right, so if we go to number 4, John,
Yes, sir.
it's you have to find a mentor. Right? You have to find a mentor. You have to find somebody that's where you want to be, right? And you have to reach out to them.
Sure.
You have to reach out to them, and you have to absorb the information. Mentors have been an amazing asset, not just in my life, but in my DJ career.
Right.
Right. And a mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you know. Peter Murray is my mentor, okay? Because he's written a book. He's at a level where I want to be. My goal, John, and I'll put it out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 2020, my goal is to be a guild member.
Sure.
That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal, right? And so it's important that you find mentors, and mentors in all different areas, not just first of all, being a DJ, being an MC, 2 different skills.
They are, certainly.
2 different skills. So if there's a DJ out there that you really like the way they DJ, hit them up. Say, hey, I'm in your market or I'm not in your market, whatever. Can I come shadow you? Can I come shadow you at an event? And so whatever area that you're looking to grow and expand, find a mentor in that area. If you want to increase your business skill, find a business networking events again, right? Find someone that you think is great at business. Find someone that you think is great at marketing. I just met this gentleman, the Weaning Method. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Eric.
Very, very familiar. Yep, he's a friend of mine.
So yeah, I was at a DJ networking event. I was at the New Jersey DJ networking event last Tuesday.
Nice.
Right. I met Eric there. He gave an amazing presentation. I'm saying, man, this guy's talking about Facebook ads,
mm-hmm.
videos. And I'm like, listen, I'm not an expert in that. I'm not an expert in that, right? But obviously he is.
Mm-hmm.
He is. And so, I'm looking to make him my mentor. I need to tap into him. Like,
sure.
What are you doing? How can you help me, right? And listen, when you get a mentor, sometimes you got to pay, right? You have to invest not only in yourself, but in your business. So, that would be tip number 4 is fundamental.
So let's just, before we jump off this one, you want to find someone in the sales and marketing. You happen to find Eric at that meeting the other day. For people, because this is a question, people, where do I find a mentor? Where do I find someone who has the information to play that role? Where other places would you recommend people looking for that if they can't go to DJ meetings specifically? I mean, you mentioned, of course, if there's a DJ out there they see online, they could maybe contact them. But in a sales and marketing area, where else would you suggest that people look?
Oh, you have to go to your local chamber events or your BNI events, right? The chamber is there to assist you.
Mm-hmm.
The BNI there is able to assist you. And this is the reason why a lot of people don't get the full benefit of being part of the chamber or BNI, because they're not using it properly, right? Most chambers or BNIs, they have what's called an ambassador. The ambassador's job is to link you up with somebody that's going to be able to help you.
Nice.
But if you're not going to meetings, if you're not tapping into, first of all, in my BNI and chamber, we have a marketing committee. A marketing committee that meets once a month. They have something called Marketing University, right? Where you have all of these marketing experts that once a month they come on and they talk about a different topic, right? So if that doesn't exist in your market, create it. You don't have to be the marketer. You can say, hey, listen, we should start a marketing university in this market. I'm calling all the marketers that is in my local market. Let's meet and have coffee and talk about marketing.
Sure.
Right. And so, but also attending DJ networking events. If you should be able to attend, even if, first of all, let me say this. I'm sorry, John. Eric was at the expo this year.
Yes, he was.
Okay. So, and at the expo, they had tons of different workshops. I think there were 3 presentations that was talking about marketing. And you know what? Every single one of them that I went up to and I spoke with, right? They were welcoming. They said, Gene, here's my card. Contact me. You know, one of the biggest things, even at the expo, it was my first time attending the expo. Okay. One of the biggest things is I take a lot of notes and I even record when I'm there, right? To go back and listen, right?
Sure, yeah.
And this is you can listen to something and you'll automatically forget it in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yep.
Right? So you have to be able you have to be able to go back and you have to be able to listen. But to answer your question, you know, attend your local BNI when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, which once again are two separate skills, right? You could be a great marketer, but if you're not closing, listen, you're missing the ball.
Yep.
Right? All marketing does is going to expose what you do. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to expose you, right? So you know, you can hire Eric to do your marketing, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not closing deals, you're missing the ball. And when it comes to closing deals, or when it comes to closing, I don't want to dive into that. John,
that's
I
mean, big topic.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to sales, it's a sales, marketing, you know, working on your craft. Sales is something inside, right? I don't try to sell my couples, John. I'm not in the business of trying to sell them my services, right? I'm in the business of explaining to them what I do and teaching them, right? Being a guide for them, right? And once I switched from trying to sell them to trying to guide them, my sales went up.
So that would be, now, as I was kind of bouncing around through, one of the things on your Facebook page is talking about the wedding coach side of things that you were doing.
Yes, John. So I am Gene, the wedding coach. Hashtag Gene, the wedding coach. And, you know, I created that because I was sitting down and I was asking myself, how can I add value to my couple?
Sure.
How can I add value to my brides? All right, we lost connection there a little bit. So John, one of the things that I do every morning, I've got wedding magazines that I'm reading. I've got wedding books that I'm reading, the core books, but whatever, right? I'm educating myself. I'm really educating myself on the industry, and I'm giving these tips. I'm giving these wedding tips daily. As a matter of fact, you can go on Instagram right now. You can hashtag Gene the Wedding Coach, and you will see me talking a wedding. Sometimes I'm driving in my car. I'll just go live in my car, and you know where I get my tips from, John? I get them from my couples.
Sure. Yep. I would imagine they're always giving you feedback and thoughts and ideas.
Tons of content from my couples, right? Not only the couples, not only my prospects, right? But also the couples that I'm serving, right? So I just had a consultation before we got on this line, right?
Yep.
And the way I end my consultations with my couples, right, or my prospects, right, is I ask them, what has been your experience planning this wedding? Great question to ask on your consultation, right?
Oh,
Great
yeah.
question, because now we're not talking business and money, and right now, and you know what? John, they open up in a different way when you ask that question, right? Right. So this bride tonight, she said, "Oh my gosh, Gene, you know, I underestimated my guest list. I underestimated my budget. Wow, that's a great tip. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, okay, and talk about that,
Sure.
right? And so what that has done for me is it puts me in a different situation. I'm separating myself from the other DJs in my market now, because when I'm on Instagram and I'm posting, right, I'm not posting pictures and videos saying hire me, right? I'm posting pictures and videos trying to add value to the couple, right? Trying to give tips. And this is why I came out with the ebook. I just dropped the ebook.
Nice.
And that goes into I guess we're on tip number 6.
I was just gonna say we just did tips 6, 7, 8, and 9. I hope we didn't eat up your tip, the ones you got down. So let's keep. What do you got? What do you got for 6?
So Junior Wedding Coach, that inspired the ebook. Okay, so I dropped the ebook last week. Actually, it's called Wedding Planning 101, from ceremony all the way to the grand exit.
Nice.
Okay. Now this ebook is specifically geared towards the entertainment aspect, right? So I'm not talking about centerpieces. I'm not talking about floral arrangements. Okay, I'm talking about the entertainment portion, right? Mm-hmm. And can you imagine telling a bride, listen, after you have a consultation, check out my ebook. Here's a free ebook for you, right? It puts you in a completely different category, right? What other entertainer do you know that's providing couples with the ebook, with a free ebook?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what it does, a lot of times when I'm having my consultations, and I'm not trying to sell my services once again, right? One of the things that I did early in my career is I would be on the call with my other DJs, right? And what I noticed that they were doing was, they were talking about equipment and lighting and speakers. So I'm saying to myself, man, I'm closing like 90% of my deals, and my DJs are closing like 40, 30%. What's going on? Mm-hmm. So I started getting on the calls, and once again, they're talking about speakers and lighting and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just in my professional opinion, couples don't care about that. They care about it, right? But you start talking about lighting and the voltage of your speaker, you're talking way over their head. They're gonna get off the phone. They're gonna be like, man, what just happened? What's going on? The first question I ask my couples, John, is what's important to you at your wedding, right? And the reason why I don't even know where I'm gonna go on the call until you answer that question,
right?
I don't know, right? If you tell me, I want to have fun, okay, then I'm going to go in one direction. If you tell me, the flow of the wedding is important, great. Let's talk about event direction, right? If you say, I want to personalize my wedding, okay, let's talk about creative involvement. I'm not even going to know. And so you truly have to be a guide. You have to be a guide for your couples. If you're a guide, if you're helping them, right? You're not in the limelight, right? But you're helping them. You're guiding them. And when I'm talking to my couples, I can see the light bulb go off when I tell them something they didn't know.
Sure.
Right? when I start explaining to them the difference between a wedding DJ and a club DJ and a bar mitzvah DJ and a backyard barbecue DJ, they're like, man, I didn't
know that.
What are you looking for? Right? It blows their mind, like, oh, Gene, I never thought about that. Exactly, right? Let's talk about your grand entrance. So being a guide, educating them, providing them value, okay? I never have to hard close my couples job, never. I send them the agreement. I say, listen, if you think I'm a good fit for you, this is the process of moving forward. And 90% of the time, they're closing the deal. Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to call another DJ in my market, and the DJ is going to be talking about speakers, and it's going to be like, man, I don't know. And you know what? After they get off the call with that DJ, what are they going to get? They're going to get a proposal, right? And the proposal is going to have all these numbers. You know what they're going to get from me, John? They're going to get a free ebook, right? You know what else they're going to get from me, John? They're going to get, listen, follow Gene, the wedding coach, for some daily wedding tips,
sure.
Right? You know what else they're going to get, John? I'm going to tell them you need to subscribe to my wedding workshop podcast, which is the next tip. Okay?
Nice.
So I have a wedding workshop podcast. And guys, listen, this by far has been the best marketing strategy for me. Okay? And it's helped me as an entertainer grow. Right? The best thing that you can do is start a podcast for your industry. Be the magazine, be the wedding wire. It's called Wedding Pro now, right? Mm-hmm. Be that for your market. Okay? So I have a wedding workshop podcast where I bring in wedding vendors, and I interview them, just
Sure.
like we're doing now, John.
Yep.
Right? And do you know what happened? Do you know what those wedding vendors do, John? What do you think they do? What do
Well,
they do, John?
they're first off, they're all excited because they can be on with you, even though your crowd may not be that big. Doesn't matter. They get all excited, they get all nervous, and then they do the thing, and then when they're done, the magic happens because they start sharing it everywhere.
There you go. And the best people to interview is photographers. There's so many. I mean, I can go on and on about the different industries. As an entertainer, I do a lot of market research.
Mm-hmm.
First thing the bride is going to do, John, is, as a matter of fact, before she even gets engaged, John, the bride is already looking for venues and looking at dresses.
Yeah, precisely.
Before she even gets that ring, John.
She would say, okay, we want to make sure we can go over here, and then we have to have the church, but I think that venue,
exactly,
she's got that down.
So, and this comes from doing market research. I'm saying to myself, man, they're already. So I'm doing a whole series on how to buy or how to invest in your bridal gowns.
Yeah.
Now, people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm interviewing like 10 bridal salons, John. I'm doing a whole podcast series on just that. You know why? Because now I'm touching the bride before she's even in the market.
Sure.
Before she's even in the market. So, creating, and listen, you don't have to do a podcast, right? You can do a blog where you're interviewing wedding vendors. John, I go to bridal shows, right? Sometimes I go and I don't even have a booth there. I'm going there because I'm trying to get cards from the other vendors
for the podcast. To create that.
I booked. I don't know. I want to say 30% of my bookings have come from vendors that have recommended me.
Right. Yeah. You're making those contacts, developing
and
that
I'm adding value.
Again.
I'm
Good.
adding value. So I'm having fun, man. This is
good stuff.
Again, John.
This is good stuff. Good stuff.
So, what tip are we on, John?
We should be on 7, or was 7 the podcast, and now we're on 8.
Okay, yeah. So one tip number 8. All right?
Okay, so we're at
So I do something called a virtual venue tour. I don't know if you've seen that on my page, but so guys, listen, guys and girls, listen. Every time you're performing at a venue, you should take video of the venue. My videos are no longer than a minute. So they are, John. A minute. I just walk around and taking video, B-roll shots of the venue. I throw it up on YouTube, right? I put the venue name there, okay? And on the description, I would say the preferred entertainer for this venue. Now, I've had so many venues contact me saying, Gene, a couple said they saw your video on YouTube. Can you send that video to me? Can you send? So once again, it all boils back to what's adding value.
Yep.
Adding value, right? So these virtual venue tours are amazing because you know what the couple is doing? You know what the bride is doing before she goes to visit the venue?
Research, just like we do.
Research, right? And imagine her type in, Falkirk venue in Central Valley, New York. And you have a video up there.
Pops up there, you bet.
And she's looking at the video, right? And not only is she looking at the video, at the end of the video, you should have some promo saying, video made by, incredible DJ, whatever DJ company, right? So now when she goes to the venue, she's getting a bit. As a matter of fact, John, I was on the phone just before we got on.
Yep.
Doing a consultation with a couple, and I do our consultations on Zoom with my couples now, John. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That'll be tip number 9. But what I did, right, I'm doing a live consultation with this prospect, right? And I go to YouTube and I show her the video.
Yes.
I show her the video right there, live. She's like, okay, Gene, you're booked. You're booked, Gene. Because you know what? If you've been at the venue, right? If you've been
That's
there,
huge.
That's huge.
That is, yep.
And as a matter of fact, John, here's another tip. I don't have to work at the venue. Sometimes I'll just contact the venue and say, hey, listen, I'm doing virtual venue tours to help
Yep.
Couples get more information. And the venue owners, what are they going to say? No, we don't want free promo. No, of course not. Come in, come. And then all I have to do is show. Listen, these are other virtual venue tours that I did.
Yeah.
Right? Go look at the YouTube hits on them. Right? I've got a venue right now, John. They send me all of their brides. They don't all book with me, right? But they send me all of them. I've built a relationship where they say, you know what, Gene, you are the preferred vendor here.
Excellent.
And so I know a lot of DJs, a lot of entertainers. You're trying to get on that preferred vendors list, right? And every market is different. Some markets they want you to pay, right? Other markets, you have to figure out whatever market you're in. At the end of the day, if you're providing value to the venue, and then you go there and you perform well, okay, you're in there. I provide more value to the market. I provide more value to the venue by doing a virtual venue tour than paying them to be in their magazine that the bride isn't even going to look at.
Certainly.
Right? And so when you go to a venue and you're building a relationship with the venue, that's my goal. I want to go on a virtual venue like tour all over the East Coast, all over from Maine all the way down to Florida. I want to visit as many venues as I can, right? Because at the end of the day, when a couple contacts me and I say, "Oh yeah, you're getting married there," I've been there.
Yep.
Right? I'm not going to say I performed there if I haven't, but I've been there. Oh, are you working with the venue manager so and so? Are you working with
they're
manager? It's been amazing, John, for my career. So,
yep, for sure. That's a great tip.
So let's talk about these Zoom meetings.
Yeah,
John, it's been a game changer for me. Game changer. And it started off with I started doing my consultations.
Yep.
Via Zoom. Right?
Zoom.us, for those of you who do not know or have never used it, that's what we're using tonight. It's a web application. There's a downloadable for your computer for that. You can use a free version or you can use a paid version. But Zoom.us is the website. Okay, go ahead, Gene.
Listen, I've had my couples tell me, "Wow, Gene, this is first of all." Being on the phone with somebody, right, with a prospect is not the same as what we're doing now.
Yep.
What we're doing now.
Yep.
You get a feel for the person, right? And so with that being said, what I'm gonna start doing in 2020 is I'm about to start doing these webinars, right? Where my presentation is going to be a webinar, right?
Sure.
Live, where I'm talking about this is what we do, this is what we offer. But doing the Zoom meetings has been, and I was nervous about doing it, right?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
The couples love it, right? They're giving me feedback. I'm asking them, what is it that you like about it? Gene, you know what, we're really busy. We're working really hard trying to pay for this wedding, and having to come out and meet you it's difficult, right? To fit it in the schedule. It makes it more personal. It's financially beneficial, right? And you still get an opportunity to build with the couple.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And this is why I use the Calendar app, right? The Calendar app or the Zoom is linked right into the Calendar app, right? So when they schedule an appointment with you, it'll say you can link your Zoom ID to it, right? And then what? And you know what's going to happen? I had a Zoom meeting with the couple. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a Zoom meeting with the couple, right? And guess who the couple brought in? They brought in mom and dad.
Oh, nice. All the main players.
Guess who's funding the wedding? Mom and dad. And mom and dad get to meet. They entertain.
Nice.
Right? Maybe not face to face. We can still meet face to face. I still want to meet face to face. I still want to do sex. As a matter of fact, since we're talking about the virtual venue tours, let's talk about the site visits. I do something called site visits where I visit the venue with the couple.
Yep.
Even if I've been there already. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because guess what? When you go do that site visit, that venue manager or catering manager or venue owner is going to be like, wow, how many entertainers are coming here doing site visits?
Some, maybe, but not as many as.
How many John, is there?
Yep, we're here. Yep, we're still here. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Yeah,
back.
you're still with
You're
us.
back.
You stuck with us, so. But yeah, many. It used to be, I think, more common. I don't think you see site visits as much this day and age. At least I don't hear about them as much as I used to a few years back.
I think it's important to build a relationship not only with the venue, but also build a relationship with the couple.
Oh yeah.
And to get comfortable with the space and the area that you're going to be working in. And you know where I do a lot of my upsell, John? I do them at the site visit.
Oh yeah.
Man, uplights would look great here. I've got some in my car. Let me show you. Oh, here's the ceremony area. Wow, what are you guys doing for the ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, think about that, Jim. No problem. I got you covered. You know what? My photo booth would look amazing right here, right? And so it's doing site visits, doing virtual venue tours, anything that's going to add value to the venue, to the couple, is and that's what I'm really big on for 2020. I know we're talking about tips to grow your business in 2020.
Yep.
And my motto for 2020 is going to be to add value.
Nice.
To add value.
Let's see. We're up to 9.
9. John, I'm so excited to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Thanks for being here.
So let's talk about the follow-up, right?
Oh.
Follow-up is extremely important. And this is something that I'm really going to be working with Eric on, because Eric was talking about how he has a follow-up system. But how are you following up with your couples, right? After you send your proposal or your contract, right? And the couple's kind of like they're out there lingering. You know, the one thing I do before I get off every single one of my calls, I ask a couple, how long is it going to take you to make a decision?
Sure.
I put the ball in their court.
Yep.
Come on. But then, you know how I follow up? I'm not following up with like, oh, hey, have you guys made a decision?
Just a reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following up with my tips.
Yep, for sure.
Right? 7 tips on what to look for when hiring a DJ. Right? Here are 5 tips for having a successful ceremony. Right? Here's why it's important to hire a wedding planner. Right? I'm providing them with value. Right?
Yeah.
And so another DJ in my market may be saying, hey, somebody else is interested in your date. Hey, you know what's going on? The time is getting close. No pressure over here. No pressure over here. So, you know, the follow-up is extremely important, especially when you're attending networking events. Not just following up with your couples, right? But when you go to networking events and you grab business cards, and I'll show you. I've got some right here, John. I just want to show you how I roll. Okay. So these are my business cards, John. Okay. They're all labeled, right? Photographer, videographer, accounting, marketing, whatever. And I make it a goal every single day when I come here and I come into the office and I'm sending out personal emails. It was great meeting you. When can we meet for coffee? Setting up coffee dates is great. You know why? Once again, people are not going to recommend you if they don't know you.
Yeah, for sure.
You
got to build that relationship, build those bridges.
Got to build that relationship. Mm-hmm. So the follow-up is important. John, can I give one more tip? Can I give one more? Give one more?
Yep. We got a little bit of time yet, and then we'll have to wrap up.
So what I do, right? I got my little staple box here. Not there.
I can hear you. The screen froze. It'll just hopefully take a second. It will pop back to us.
Oh, there we go.
There we are. Yep. Okay. Well, what do you got now?
So 6x9.
Yeah, envelope. Yep.
Envelopes. Okay. I do this 3 times a week. Okay. Got my stamps.
You're going old school on us here.
Old school.
Oh, you going old school there. Post office? What's post office?
Oh. So the flyers, $200 discount coupons with my business cards, right? Putting like 10 in each of these envelopes, right? And I'm sending them to my venues that I performed at with a thank you card, right? Hey, Jessica, it was great working with you this past weekend at Jessica's wedding. Here are 10 coupons, right? Please give them out to the brides that you think will be interested. So I've gotten so much business, John. I've gotten so much business back in that.
We're good. I can still hear you, and you're back. I can see you. We're still, Gene. You're still with us, Gene. I can hear you. Oh, we might have lost it right there. Not sure exactly if you guys were able to pick up Gene's last little tip there, where he was sending out kind of as a follow-up a thank you card in an envelope, handwritten thank you card with some coupons there to hand out, and then he had a little gift certificate. I wanted to ask about what that $200 gift or that part was. So this generally means that he's reconnecting. He just disconnected and reconnecting here. So we'll just give it a second and see if Gene pops back. For those of you who are with us tonight, thank you for being with us. Dan and I are going to be back at the top of the hour to talk about microphones and using the microphones at our shows. So that'll be coming up here in about 15 minutes tonight. Tuesday night, we've got Tuesday night with Brian Red and myself, and then Ben Stowe tomorrow night. So Wednesday, we'll be doing a couple more things. It's gotten to be a busy week. Gene, you back with me yet?
Yeah, I'm back. I can't see you, though.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, so you were talking on about the cards you send out specifically, and then you had gotten into the coupons and you send those out. That little gift certificate, that $200, what was that for? That part I didn't catch.
So this is specifically for my venues, right?
Okay.
So whenever the venue gives this out to one of their couples, they automatically save $200 off of their wedding.
Okay. So it's that. Okay.
So it's not just, if you're sending your flyer, I just find it better for the venue to say, hey, listen, if you book with Incredible DJs, you get this $200 coupon. So now it's something of value that they have rather than just having a flyer that says these are the services that we want, right? So it makes the venue look good because now the venue is saying, hey, we have these preferred wedding vendors here that are going to save you money on your wedding. So.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, that's a great idea, especially after you've been there and you know who you're sending it to, you built that relationship, you can follow up with them quite well. Excellent. Did I lose you again, Gene? Oh, shoot. Well, internet must be just being a little difficult for him out on the East Coast tonight. So, gang, we've got to kind of wrap things up for tonight. We made it through our 10, and I'm hoping Gene's back here so we can close. Are you? I hear you.
Oh, so John, I think we're just. Yeah, can you see me?
I can't see. There you are. Now you're back. Okay.
I think we're giving out too much good information. They're like, we got to stop this.
The internet is shutting you down, man.
Too much.
Gene, before we have if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to find you?
So you can hashtag Gene the Wedding Coach, of course, and you can get me that way. I'm also on Instagram at Incredible DJs, also on Facebook. Incredible DJ. You can reach out to me. I also have a DJ podcast that I just started called the Incredible DJ Academy podcast. Got some great content on there as well. So yeah, if for all the other DJs out there, If you want more information on any of the tips that I discussed, I love helping my fellow DJs. Before we get out of here, John, thank you so much for everything that you've done in the industry. You're also one of my mentors. I always am listening to the podcast. You see, I'm rocking your brand right here because I believe in it. And it's truly an honor and a pleasure to be on the show. And, at the end of the day, my motto is continuing education is the key to your success in this business. So John, with that being said, thank you.
Gene, thank you for being on tonight. Thank you for bringing your energy and passion to the show tonight. I loved it. Our viewers loved it tonight. It was just a lot of fun tonight. So, gang, we'll be back in about 10 minutes here tonight with Dan and myself. We've got to switch things over. Gene, once again, thanks for being on tonight.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, John. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Take care.